Hello and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. It's very nice to have you here. And so I am looking forward to doing some readings for you. But before we go to our callers that will be calling in, I thought we could actually, I always ask my guides what I should talk about. And they told me that I need to talk about helping people. And so here goes. I want to relay a story about somebody that I don't know what his name is, and I don't know sort of many details from him. But so I just want to tell you my experience with this person. And this is somebody that I was traveling on a train from London to Brighton, where I live, and so in England the train system is very easy to sort of get on and off, and it's quite convenient to travel by train. So lots of people do it, and so anyway, I was on this train, and all of a sudden this man got on. And he was going up and down the carriages, and he was telling his story about how he'd been in Iraq and how he was in the army, and how he is struggling to find, help and support, and therefore he wants to have he wants to have look for money, and he was handing his cap around the train as we were going in along, and some people gave him some money and some people didn't, and I often sort of are wary about giving money, and I don't know what your thoughts are, but I sometimes think, are they going to get their next sort of fix of drugs or something like that? And I worry about some of the homeless that are looking for money. But what I normally do when I see homeless is I often pop into a shop and get, like a coffee or a sandwich or something like that, and I give them food. But I've noticed just lately that they're actually not interested in the food; they just want the money. That's something that I've noticed of late. But anyway, back to this man. And so anyway, the train arrived in Brighton, and I got off the train. And Brighton is a reasonably sized city, so the likelihood of bumping into anyone that was on that train is sort of probably unlikely because of the size of the city. Anyway, it turned out that in the area of Brighton that I was living, that he was going to be living in that area. And so outside the supermarkets where I'd go and get my food, he would always be sitting there begging for food, for money. And I would always, get him a sandwich or something and give him stuff like that. But I think it's really difficult. And I can only talk for how it is in this country. There is an awful lot of homeless people that are on the streets, and also we're not a particularly warm country, and so the temperatures are sort of pretty low at the moment. I mean, they're actually not as low as they were when, I remember back in the 80s, we'd have snow on the ground all the time. But I can't remember the last time we had snow. Sort of doesn't seem to sort of exist in this country. But anyway, nevertheless, it would be really uncomfortable to be sleeping outside. And I don't know whether he's outside or not. But I suppose in a way, what we need to do is have some sort of level of compassion, because I remember one person saying to me, it's actually, we're only 2 moves away from being that ourselves. And often when you talk to those people, they have situations like, like they've lost a parent or they've lost, to spirit, and they can't cope with their grief. or they perhaps have lost their job, or they've got an addiction problem. But there's many sort of multiple reasons why people end up in those situations. And I just sort of think, isn't it a shame that people are in that situation? But also, it's almost like I feel compelled to say how much we need to have compassion for those people, because I think it's by the grace of God go I. I could be that person on the street so easily because of circumstances that sort of came about in my life. So it's, yes. So anyway, compassion and help is the sort of the story of today. But anyway, I'd like to go to some callers, and I believe we have Sharon in Saskatoon, in Canada. Are you there?
Yes.
Hello, and welcome
Hi.
to the show. So my name is Gail Moffat, and I am a medium, and so I can either connect to loved ones, or I can look to give you some guidance from my guides. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work?
I don't know. I lost my sister last November. I'd like you, maybe you could connect
Right.
with her.
Your sister. Okay. Let's have a look and see what I can do.
My sister, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Your sister. Right, I've got two people coming through at the same time. I've got a man that's sort of pushing a lady forward. So it's almost as though this man is helping her in coming forward and coming forward with that communication. Because I feel that there's a little bit of apprehension, because I think she's a little bit scared of communicating. Would that make sense to you, Sharon? Because I haven't heard anything that she said, so that's all I'm witnessing in front of me.
I don't know. Her husband had passed away years and years ago.
Right, but would there have been a reason why she would be a bit apprehensive about communicating?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So there's no reason why you would know that. Is that right? Is that what you're saying, Sharon?
She doesn't want to communicate?
No, that's not what I said. I'm seeing her being apprehensive. And so I'm asking you if you know of any reason why she would be apprehensive to communicate today.
I wouldn't know. She had a brain tumor.
Right, okay. It may well be that it's not your sister then, because that's first come through. But anyway, I'm gonna work with this link that I've got and see where we go. I feel that okay. I feel with this lady that I've got is that she's definitely apprehensive about communicating, because I feel that she is I don't know whether she's ashamed or upset about something that she's done, and she knows that she has to apologize, and she's being asked by spirit as she comes forward to apologize to via yourself. So there must be somebody around you or around her that requires an apology, because I feel that she's sort of it's almost like she's feeling uncomfortable or embarrassed about speaking these words, because she doesn't know how she's going to be received. And she's saying to me that I feel like she's let somebody down. And I don't know whether that's yourself or whether it's somebody else, but she feels that okay. Was she a mother?
Yes, she had 5 kids.
Okay. And um, was because I feel like her talk or her feelings is towards one of these children, or all of them, because she's making me feel as though she's uh, ashamed or sort of um, uh, she's saying to me that she feels that she's let these children down somehow. Would you understand that? I mean, it may be that she's just referring to her passing, but I just feel that there's something else that she's talking about.
Maybe her husband.
Um, okay. I'm just gonna just literally talk with her, and it'll come to light. Um, she's got some deep regrets of the way she treated people in her family, and she's saying to me that that some of them are still scarred by her actions, because she feels that she didn't behave properly as a mother, and should have done more for her children than she actually did.
Mm,
Does any of that make sense?
sort of, yeah.
Right. Because she says that she wasn't always there for them, and some of them in the family feel insecure about how she was as a mother, and wish that she'd been more there or for them, because she's saying to me that she was immersed in her life outside of her family. It's like she's distracted with other things that are going on in her life, and as a result, I feel like there's some, this is her words, there's some neglect that she, this is her opinion, that she has neglected her children on some level, um, and she feels that it's really important that she comes forward and speaks these words, and she says that she's apologizing to you as well, because she feels that she's using your reading to get to get to this message, to bring this message through, because she's saying to me that she's making me feel that at least two of her children are scarred by her actions, and I think, and her ultimate passing. It's like um, they wish that she'd been a different sort of mother to them, and I feel that her reason for coming forward, um, and she's telling me that she was told that she had to do this, she had to apologize and had to put things right, um, and she's telling me that this is why she was waiting by the side of me to come and talk. Does any of that make sense?
Probably her 2 oldest children.
Right. Yeah. Yes. And is one of them male?
Yes, the oldest is a boy, and the second oldest is a girl.
Okay. I want to go to the boy, because I feel that he's angry. He's
Yes, he is.
angry.
He
and
lost
he's,
both his parents.
pardon?
Those two older ones have lost both their parents now.
Yeah, but he's really struggling with everything, and I feel that, but I feel also that he feels that not only has his parents been stolen from him, he feels that she didn't do her best as a parent, and I feel like he feels that he has, almost like lost out. And it's both. It's not just the passing. It's the upbringing as well that he received. And I feel very, very angry. I feel like some of the younger ones, they're not so bad, but I feel like this boy in particular, is very, very angry. Um, and and I feel like he feels like he hasn't, it's like he always hoped that there would be a better sort of times with his mum, or his mum would acknowledge him or accept him, but she was always distracted elsewhere. And he is, he's, and I feel with him that he regrets, he's got, well, he's saddened by the fact that he hasn't got the opportunity to almost like have a better relationship with his mum. And I feel with your sister, the main reason for her coming through is that she wants to, um, just apologize to her children and let them know that they mean the world to her, and that she is so sorry for not being there in the way that they would have liked her to be there. Um, I feel like she wants to heal, her children, and help them feel better about things.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that all makes sense, Sharon, um,
Okay.
and I, so thank you for calling in. I have got another caller waiting. But if you need to have any more information, you can find me on Facebook. My name is Gail Moffat.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sharon. Right. Okay, so cool. Can we go to Amber in Vancouver, please? Are you there, Amber?
Yes.
Hello, and oh, hello. So my name is Gail Moffat, and I'm a medium, which means I can connect to loved ones, in the spirit world, or I can help you with, guidance. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work?
I'd like to hear from some loved ones, maybe.
Okay, we've got about 8 minutes left of the show. So who would you particularly like to hear from? And I'll see if they're there.
There's a friend of mine that just recently passed away.
Is this a male?
His
Because I've
name's
got a
Daniel.
man standing in front.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Yes, it's a male.
Yeah, because as you were talking, I can see this man standing in front of me. Got quite a sort of, a sort of a cheeky personality. Would you understand that about him?
Yeah.
Like he would sort of a sort of a teasing personality, or a bit sort of, he could be really good fun. And I also feel with him that did he have a, some sort of dependency on a substance of any description?
I'm not too sure. He did overdose.
Right. Okay. Because I felt sort of, I heard the word dependency. Um, what I'm being told is he's saying to me that he wants you to know that he it's like he didn't, this wasn't his intention. So he's he wants to clarify to me that it's not a suicide. This was an accident, is what he's saying to me. And I feel also with him that he I feel also that he's making me feel like that he needs to apologize to you. Which would that make sense to you? Why he would want to do that?
Yeah, it does.
Because he's making me feel like he sort of messed you around a bit. Would that make sense?
That makes perfect sense, dude. Holy cow. I'm like actually getting goosebumps right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I dated him at,
because
but,
I feel that
sorry.
I feel that you were quite interested in him, but he was sort of he just mess you around a bit, like blowing hot and cold and and stuff like that. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
But also, I want to say about him is that I feel that he had a difficult upbringing. His upbringing wasn't very easy, and I feel that it sort of didn't really give him a great deal of guidance. Would that make sense to you?
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, when he got his, from what he told me, he got kicked out at a very young age, and because his mother wasn't there for him. So
Yeah. And so I know with this young man that I've got here is that he's sort of saying it's sort of no excuse, but because he didn't have that sort of proper upbringing, he feels that it's almost like he didn't know how to commit to somebody and how to really show somebody love. Because I feel like there was an element with him, or a little bit of distrust, like he wouldn't want to sort of expose his heart to anybody, and so if he felt close to somebody he'd pull back because it would be out of fear. And he's saying to me that this is how he was with you. It was like he was protecting his heart rather than thinking about messing you around. It was more intentionally about protecting his heart, because he says that he's had his heart broken so many times and hurt so many times throughout his life that it's like he couldn't afford for anyone to sort of be hurtful to him again. Would that make sense to you?
yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah.
Um, let's see. When he got over to spirit, he realized that he'd made a mistake with you, because the spirit world were steering the two of you together, because there is a soul connection between you. Now, I don't believe in the idea of soulmate. I believe that there are several soul connections that you can be with, but this man, there is a soul connection between you, so it doesn't mean that you're not going to meet somebody else that's a soul connection as well. But I just know that there's this soul connection. And in this soul connection, I just want to say that he he realized what an idiot or what a fool he'd been with you, and wishes that almost like accepted your love and being more gracious about his love with you, and not backed away and not had that fear, because he feels that you would have been, really good for him, almost like the first person that had ever been really good for him, because you had come into his life to do just that, and to help him in his life. And I know that if you'd have had the opportunity, you would have been incredibly healing to him, because you've got a different sort of background, a different value system and different way of looking at life. And I do believe that you would have supported him emotionally and healed him emotionally. But sadly, he didn't have that opportunity, and he has regrets for not taking up that relationship with you and being with you, because he feels that he missed out in an enormous way. Because when he got to spirit, he realized just what an amazing person you are. Does any of that make sense to you?
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it does.
Because you're kind, you're loving, you're there is nothing about you that is sort of, you're not a jealous, vindictive, nasty person. You're just you're a kind, loving person, and it just oozes out of you. And it's so lovely for me to be able to speak to you, because I can feel that in you, and I just know that you would be amazing for him, and I know that he regrets that, and he is apologizing to you for messing you around, and I just, but he's come from a troubled background, and I know that, and I think that he wouldn't have been the way he was if it hadn't have been for the background that he came from.
I understand.
And I do feel that you would have steered him in a direction that would have been a little bit more clean. Almost like, I think you would have said, no, it's not a good idea to do that or do this, or you would have almost given him guidance in life. And I really do think that, because you're the responsible one, you're the one that would have just, given him such a support in his life.